celebrating 3 years of bringing you the very best in LGBT talk programming. This is Q Talk America.
I'm Dr. Lisa Moore, Executive Director of LGBT Wellness Foundation and owner of Pure Spirit Healing, along with my fill-in co-host tonight, Leslie Fox.
Well, hi. I just introduced. I'm Leslie Fox, as you know, a fill-in co-host. We miss Rick very much tonight. And our special guest is Cindy Dickinson, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about creativity. So, Cindy, why don't you share something creative with us?
You got it. Sister, hear me call today. Sister, show me that she cares. Sister, show me that it's not that bad. Sister, show me the way to a better place. To a state of grace, yeah. Brother, can you tell me? Brother, can you understand? Brother, have you ever had your world crash around you? Brother, take me by the hand to a better land. Oh, yeah, to a better place, Lord. To a state of grace. Oh, yeah, to a better place. People feel the wind blow. People, can you hear the call? People, can you see the world is changing all around you? People, let me take you there to a better place. To a state of grace, yeah. To a better place. Oh, yeah. To a better place. Well, let's celebrate. Oh, state of grace. Celebrate love. Let's celebrate, yeah. Oh, a state of grace.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for playing that as our intro for the evening.
You're so welcome.
That's one of your originals, isn't it, Cindy?
Yeah. That's what I wrote about close to 3 years ago now. Went through a kind of rough period of my life, a lot of changes going on in my world. And it's kind of like once you realize there's nothing you can do to change something, the only thing that you can do is accept. And once you accept, you end up in that just beautiful state of grace that helps you rise above it all. So one of the things that I've always wanted to do is just with my music is just take people on a journey. And there was a series of songs that I wrote that definitely have a feeling of a journey.
So let's talk a little bit about your journey. How long have you been singing or writing songs?
I have been singing and writing songs, gosh, since I was a little teeny tiny kid. It's something that I've held on to my entire life. I probably started when I was about 10 years old. And singing to Janis Joplin, who was like one of my favorites back then, and taught myself how to play guitar. Went on to school much later and played in bands my entire life up until about the last 10 years. And I'd love to do another band again. So if anybody's out there listening and wants to get together and do some playing, let's talk.
Now, did you shut it down during some times in your life, or did you always keep it open and know that you had something to turn to?
I always kept it somewhat open, although I must say that I did kind of shelf it for a little while. I had for about 10 years there, my focus was really on a lot of other things, like helping a partner raise kids and things like that. And even though it wasn't a requirement, it just really felt like just a different time in my life. But I did keep playing and have always held on to it.
When did you play the guitar? When you started songwriting, did you also learn an instrument, which is the guitar, obviously your instrument of choice?
Yeah, that's I actually started on trumpet of all things.
On trumpet?
Yeah, that was the first instrument I ever really learned how to play. But guitar has always been something I wanted to do. I love rhythm, so I play guitar. I play anything with strings, bass, guitar. I love my drums. I have a set of drums that I love to play drums. So if you later on, we'll direct you to my website. One of the songs that I have that I released, a good friend of mine, Kenny Starr, helped me with the recording of it all. Actually, there were a lot of people that assisted in that. But most of the instruments I'm playing myself, with the exception of the Hammond B3. That was Kenny Starr. So I did the bass, and we had a drum track we used. But I played all the other stuff, so it was kind of fun.
And you just, when did you release this? This was just in the last
year?
February.
And the song's called Best in Me. I was on that, one of those tracks where you're just making a bunch of money. And one day you wake up and you realize, oh, shoot, all I'm doing is going to work and going home, and I'm not doing anything else, And so this song came up just to remind me there's a whole lot more than getting out there and just making money and stuff, The first line of that song is, there's a whole lot more than money and driving a nice car. There's a whole lot more than flesh and bones that make up who we are. So most of my songs are coming from a place just inside of myself of self-realization, and just taking it all to a whole different level. And hopefully, that song I just sang, State of Grace, I've not recorded it in the studio yet, but some folks have listened to it, and it's helped a few people through some rough times in their lives. Where somebody, I had a friend who played it for another friend who just sat there, who, I think lost their mom or something like that, and we're having a real tough time with it. That's what the music does for people. It touches them wherever they are. So where I wrote it in one place, it could mean a whole different thing to somebody else. And that's the beauty about creativity, and bringing it from yourself. It helps everybody in their own way.
Well, and aren't you finding, especially today, you've been on the spiritual path for quite some time, and for you to access that creativity, what has been the greatest gift that opening up that porthole for you and accessing that writing and the singing again?
Oh, it's definitely, it's a partnership. That's the best way I can use to describe it. So many people have been brought into my life. So it comes through relationships, but it's a partnership regardless. It doesn't matter what the relationship is. It's meeting somebody new who's just like your best friend in the whole entire world, and you just connect on a certain level. It's a spiritual connection. And along with that will come so many revelations, so much knowledge from inside yourself. That's the gift right there. It's the partnership that is created when you meet someone and make that connection, no matter what the relationship is.
Well, and that's the disconnect that so many people have. They don't have the relationship with the creative side of self, whether it be writing or painting or writing music or singing or playing an instrument. They get caught up in the hustle and the bustle of society and want the big cars, and they're empty
Yeah.
because they're not filled up.
Exactly. And you empty that space many times. You know, maybe you were filling it with other things. And in order to move forward in your creativity, you need to empty that out, and you need to connect with what's real. You know, go put your feet in the sand. You know, walk in a beautiful meadow of flowers. And if you don't have that handy, you know, go on YouTube and find, you know, an awesome video or something to watch just to remind you. Go look at the most perfect sunset and take it all in. You just take it into your heart, and then it starts to just swirl around in your being and become something else.
Exactly. And you know, what we're talking about doesn't take all day, every day. It just takes a little bit every day.
Yeah, just start, you know, I've run into so many people who, one of the first things I do and what I do for a living is I'll ask somebody, go back to when you were a little teeny tiny kid. What was your dream back then? You know, and somebody will say, well, I wanted to be a painter. I said, well, are you painting? Do you pick up a paintbrush, even if it's for 5 minutes? Just pick it up, touch it, feel it, get your canvas out, and eventually you'll start painting. So, you know, I've made myself a promise to pick up my guitar. No matter what I'm doing, no matter how busy I am, pick up that guitar for 5 minutes a day, sing a song. You know, make a deal with yourself and just say, I'm going to do this for me. It's like brushing your teeth, you know?
Exactly.
And is it spun out in other areas of your life now that you've opened yourself up, filling your creative side of oneself up to a certain level?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's about, you know, whether it's cooking a meal and taking that creativity and putting it into the food, you know? Getting creative, grabbing whatever's laying around and creating some beautiful, you know, something to eat that's so good for you and healthy for you. Or just, I don't know. Gosh, yes. The answer is yes. It comes out in so many different ways.
Yeah, and we want to hear from the callers tonight. Give us a call. We can help you with creativity. 888-791-9294. We'd love to hear from you. And Cindy, with that being said, why don't you sing another song for us?
All right.
about
Well, you know,
Best in Me that we were talking
that's what
about.
we were just talking about. We were talking about a song called "Best in Me," and that's the
One
one
of
that
my favorites.
that's the one that I released back in. And I still have to read words, you know, so it's kind of funny. I write the songs, but I don't necessarily remember the words.
I think I know all the words to that
Do you
song.
know all the words to that one? Thank you very
Why don't
much.
you go ahead and sing it.
No
Well, you're just
way.
going to have to
Go
sing it
ahead.
along with me, right?
I'll just,
This is a song I released back in February. I actually released it on Valentine's Day. And it was, I wrote it very quickly. I mean, this one came really fast. And a lot of people go, well, how do you write songs? I said, well, they're all different, you know. Sometimes the words will come. Sometimes the music will come. This one kind of came all at once. So here it is. There's a whole lot more than money and driving a nice car. There's a whole lot more than flesh and bones to make up who we are. And if you take some time to find yourself, you might find out who you are. And if you take that time to find yourself, you just might find a star. Now you're gonna see the best in me. Now you're gonna see the rest of me. If we take some time, maybe drink some wine, listen to the radio. We can move in time and sway real slow with the lights turned way down low. Oh, close your eyes and drift away to another place in time, to the day when your eyes met mine and there was no place left to hide. Now you're gonna see the rest of me. Now that you can see the best in me. La na 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 na, la na 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 na, la na 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 na, the best in me. Well, you can throw a coin in a wishing well, pin your dreams on a falling star. Makes no difference where you are. Fly a kite and touch the sky. Raise your arms and shout out why. Makes no difference where you are. La na 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 na, la na 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 na, la na 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 na, the rest of me. La na 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 na, I say la na 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 na, la na na na, the best in me. You used to say maybe, now you call me baby, 'cause you can see the rest of me. You used to say maybe, now you call me baby, can see the best in me. La na 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 na, la na 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 na, la na 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 na, the best in me.
Joe, I think
Awesome.
that calls for some applause.
Yeah, Joe, let's get the applause going on the background there. Yay!
Yay! Woohoo! So yeah, that one was fun, and yeah, that one's all about, you know, I was on the track, I was making a bunch of money there for a while, but I was working night and day and not having a lot of fun otherwise, because that's all I was focusing on, and forgetting about the music and stuff. And it reminded me, hey, pay attention. Here I am. I'm still here.
Now, Cindy, when I first heard that song, and this was not just me, there was I was talking to somebody else about this song as well, and what makes it, I would walk through the store, there was something about that song that I would find that I'd sing it to myself in my head for days after I heard it. And this was not just me, this was, you know, other people that you were singing and sharing this song with just before you really produced it professionally. And what do you think held me? What do you think that creative spark and that I could really relate to that? What is it with all of people's work? And let's just have a discussion about that. And creative work is, what is it that touched me that I would sing it?
Well, it's going to be
Often.
something different for you. I mean, there's a vibration in music. And the vibration that this song was written in was a vibration that was saying, hey, now, you know, there's a whole lot here. There's a whole lot that we're missing, people. Come on, pay attention. There's more in your life. You know, don't look at somebody and just look at their body or look at their, you know, their car or their house or what they do for a living. We're all made up of so much more. We're vibration, we're energy. We connect energetically when we connect. So in doing that, the energy and the connection that you put out there when you're performing it or writing it, it was written in that specific space. So that's why you would sing it. That's why it would stick with you.
Now, what
Exactly.
space were you in at that time of writing it or bringing it out?
Oh, I was in that space where I wasn't really touching like a really deep part of me, you know, prior to writing this song. So I had reconnected with an old friend of mine. And just that reconnection sparked that in me right away, because it took me right back to the place where I had to get real and get down to the real core of who I am. And it has nothing to do, even though I'm really good at it, it has nothing to do with going out there and making a whole bunch of money. There's a whole lot more to life than that. And it's that juicy stuff beyond all of that that makes life so rich for all of us. There's a whole lot more richness in our lives. It's not just about the stuff we have or the stuff we can do.
Well, and so many people are missing that substance.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't know where to turn, how to turn. Addiction is on the rise, depression is on the rise. And I think it's coming back to that true essence. Like you said, you ask people, what did you dream of as a child? Well, I was a painter. I wanted to be a painter.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to get to that place because of society or beliefs or just trying to keep up to the Joneses or the best friend.
Yeah.
And they miss out a whole aspect of themselves.
Yeah, and it just comes really down to go back to your dreams. They're still there. You just need to foster them a little bit, and you need to just kind of fan that flame a little bit and let it rise in you again, because you've still got it. It didn't go away. Music never goes away. There's been times when I've pushed it away, thrown it away, kicked it away, and it comes back every single time.
So why do you think you resisted it?
Thank you.
Why do you think you resisted it as much as you did? Can you look back at where you were emotionally or spiritually or what was going on in your life to kick it aside and say, you know what, screw you,
Well,
the
it's
singer, the writer.
gosh, it's the split focus. It's that split focus, and one of the things that I've found is that when I'm writing, I am. I don't know if you've ever watched anyone creative go and do something, but I call it just you're in a creative junk. I mean, you're just blowing the place up. The creativity is taken over. You're making an entire mess. You blow your house up in 2 seconds flat because you're in this creative space, and you just don't stop until it's done. And everything is all about that. It's consuming. You become consumed by the creation inside, and which is not a bad thing.
Right.
But it can certainly derail some other stuff.
That's for sure.
Well, it's about finding that balance, right? The
It is.
creativity was derailed by other stuff.
Yes.
And that's, a part of us going, sometimes we have to go back to the extreme and then come back into balance.
And then come back to center, because there is
Because
a lovely balance.
Both things derail when you've gone away from your truth.
Yeah.
You just want it back so much that nothing else matters. So it's about living that life in balance.
Yes, it is. It totally is. And that's true for every aspect of ourselves. And we
Is-
go to extremes. And the only way that you can find center is to visit the extremes.
Exactly. And
yeah.
I'm so grateful. And we'll talk about gratitude. That's been up for me a lot. But gratitude is a part of creativity too.
Oh,
and I'm
absolutely.
so grateful for my extremes
Yes.
because I've had a lot of them.
Yes. I'm so grateful for the contrast.
And let's talk about that with people, because I think sometimes we get into people in general, we get into judgment. I know I have, regarding myself, about right or wrong, or this was extreme or not extreme. And yet the beauty of creativity is to come back and see the gift in it,
Yes.
gratitude, and that therein that spark where the song comes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people will talk about a creative block. Well, a creative block is just that. It's you've strayed away for whatever reason, and or resisted for whatever reason. And so
Yeah.
then you have to come back to it, It just is. And I've blocked
and we get
myself
caught
on
up
more
in
than one
life.
occasion. We forget to be grateful when it's there. If you looked at my phone, there's all kinds of little snippets of songs that I'm writing. I'm in the process of writing. They want to be written. And that's what I always remember. The songs want to be written. And I'm either going to write them or somebody else is. So they're asking to be written. So just take the time and sit down and write them, just like a painting's asking to be painted.
Now, for you personally, one of your songs talks about being in a better place. Did you emotionally or psychologically need to be in a better place in order for you to really be creative? Or were you able to work through the blocks to get to that better place?
Well, again, those are extremes. That was just an extremely emotional time for me in my life. And actually, it was the easiest way to express myself, because there was no other way for me at that time to express me and how I felt and what I was going through. So, and I remember someone once telling me, Cindy, you don't have hardly any gray hair. That's because your gray is in your music. I've put my gray in the music. I express myself rather than holding it as stress. It comes out in my music. It's a way to understand yourself and to release stuff that you're holding on to.
Why don't you share some lyrics without singing them, but just on another song of, something that pops in your head that you've written that's about that topic?
Holding On and Letting Go.
Oh, I remember. That was the song you sang at the Healing Circle.
Yes, I did.
Oh, that was such a beautiful song.
Holding On and Letting Go. And the song, it goes, holding on and letting go. The letting go comes so slow. Like a fire burning out of control. You reached inside and touched my very soul. And that actually was born from a relationship I had been in for a period of time, along with a whole lot of other stuff that was going on, the death of my mother at the time, just various things that were going on in my life. And so those lyrics to me that was the first time I remember having to truly let go in order to become more whole, become me, and who I am now.
It's always so amazing. I had my divorce song when I my separation from my ex-husband, and my song was "The Climb" by Miley Cyrus, and it was the word. I never heard the song, but the lyrics and the words, it helped me through that whole transition. So listening to the depth of words and hearing the tune can really help people through different points and times in their life, which we need you creative ones to be continuing writing. So anybody that's listening right now, get your words out and don't go into any form of judgment, because they touch people such on a wonderful, magical level.
They do. And I can't begin to tell you how many people have told me, God, Cindy, that helps me so much. Thank you so much for writing it, for singing it, for being there. And that makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I did something. I always say what I really want to do in this world, I want to leave a footprint, but I want to leave a gentle, a soft footprint. And that footprint for me is to make a difference in people's lives in some way, because that fulfills me.
Well, and just doing what you're doing and continue doing it is such a gift. So thank you for getting the vibration and these words, your interpretation, and letting people interpret the words and the lyrics just exactly the way they need to interpret them.
That's what it's all about.
And before you sing that, Lisa, that's a great point, because I was thinking, for all those people who believe that they have to, have a song on the radio or have a piece of art in a gallery or anything like that, the mere fact that the words hit the page or the words come out of your mouth is all the universe needs. If it makes it somewhere farther, that's great. But the imprint, and that's all we're doing with creativity, is imprinting a vibration on the planet. The imprint is there.
Absolutely.
So sing it for us, Cindy.
You got it.
One of my favorite. You sang it in my head.
This is one of my favorites too. It's one of my all-time favorites. I've written a lot of songs throughout the years. I can't even begin to remember how many, but this is one that I've always loved. Holding on and letting go. Letting go comes so slow, like a fire burning out of control. You reached inside, touched my very soul. When Cupid shot that arrow, must have broke that bow. Letting go. Dreamweaver came into my heart. I Yes, I knew from the very start. Mystery that calls it back again. I hear your voice, feel your touch, and I know I'm in trouble again. When Cupid shot that arrow, must have broke that bow. Letting go. Holding on and letting go. Letting go comes so slow, like a fire burning out of control. Reach inside, touch my very soul. I'm holding on, I'm letting go. I'm holding on, God knows I'm letting go. Yeah, listen up.
Yes.
All right.
Sure, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners can relate to that song with dysfunctional relationships and trying to let go.
Oh my God. That could be hard sometimes.
I want to add, we're talking about extremes, and I want to share the paradox of that is also true, that you and I hold on and let go every moment.
Yeah, we do.
It's a cycle in creativity, it's a cycle in relationship, it's a cycle in life. It's, as you were saying, it's gentling. You have to let it flow through your hands
Yes.
in order to continue to get more.
Yes, you do. You can't just hold on, because if you keep holding on, you've not created an empty space for anything to pass through because it's full.
And back to the empty space, Cindy.
And back to the empty space. And my space is very empty right now because I have let go. And things will now pass through because I'm giving them space. Although right now I'm in a very still place. And that's just to kind of situate and seat myself. And I know that. And I'm a very patient woman.
Well, and I think, again,
That's hard.
and I think we've got a lot of astrology, and with the supermoon tonight, which
Yeah.
is about letting go, and we're coming into Mercury retrograde on the 26th, and a lot of us that are in alignment are already feeling, which is about communication and really speaking our truth. And yet, I know for myself, tonight we were supposed to go to a full moon. We're in Florida, so we're 3 hours difference. We were supposed to go to a full moon ceremony, and I was supposed to go to church this morning, and I just said, no, I just want to be in the cocoon. I just want to be quiet and be in my own energy, and Leslie in my space. So it's really an interesting time that we're all in right now.
It is. And God, that is one big, beautiful moon out there, isn't it?
Well, we can't see it at the moment. It's a little cloudy here, but as soon as it may have cleared. I do miss the moon over in Sedona, that's for sure.
Ladies, I hate to interrupt. It's the voice behind the board here, but I thought we would drop out for a quick sponsor break. If anyone minds terribly. Normally, Rick would... Rick, did we even mention what happened to Rick at the beginning of the show?
Well, we said Rick. Unfortunately, Rick had a very bad fall and is out temporarily for probably a couple of weeks. And Leslie Fox has volunteered her time to be the co host along with myself right now until Rick feels up to be present on Skype so we can bring him back hopefully soon.
And I feel honored to, to try to even fill his shoes because he's an amazing radio host, and I'm sure he's Lisa misses him a lot.
He brings a lot to the table, and he knows we sit in his heart.
He's probably listening or watching at this very moment. And for those of you who are actually listening on the live audio stream, we want to remind you that you can watch this along with all of the other Q Talk America produced shows here out of Phoenix, or I guess since you guys are over in Florida and we have people in California, we truly are nationwide. But you can actually watch the show with all the different cameras and various angles at qtalkamerica.tv. But we want to remind you that this show Gay Love is sponsored by Audible. If you're not familiar with Audible, they're a division of Amazon, so everybody loves Amazon. Who among everybody listens to audiobooks at all? Anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Audiobooks are fantastic. And with Audible, one of the great things about it is, you own the book when you buy it. You don't, if somehow they decide to pull it off the shelves, the digital shelves, it doesn't just disappear. They can't, take it away from you. And when you listen to one part of it at one point, if you pick up on some other computer or something, it knows where you left off. So it's really, really cool that way. They have over 100.
I just bought one last night.
Well, fantastic. They have over 100,000 in their collection, and a lot of them are voiced either by the authors themselves or amazing voice actors. And there's hundreds of LGBT titles. And through our special offer, if you go to Audible Trial, that's AUDIBLETRIAL.com, you can just see it on the screen, /Q Talk America, you can sign up for a month of their free service. And you'll get a free audiobook of your choice, like any audiobook from their whole collection. And it helps, obviously, it helps us out. They give us some love, and we definitely encourage you to check it out. You'll probably fall in love with it, and, they have other, they have monthly plans that you can get X amount per month, and they have them kind of a la carte as well. But anyways, audibletrial.com/QTalkAmerica. We thank them for their support. And then something else, this is something we've been talking about a lot on the network. I'm sure everybody is familiar with what's going on with the Supreme Court that is about to release their decisions on the Prop 8 case and the DOMA case. Q Talk is going to be kind of the gay CNN or the gay MSNBC this coming week, because one of our programs out of California, which is Equality Radio, hosted by Randall White, a longtime LGBT broadcaster and journalist, he's going to be doing live expanded coverage on the day that the Supreme Court decision comes out. So we want to remind everybody, stay tuned to Q Talk America. On that particular day, we will have coverage starting in the late morning. It'll go for 4 or 5 hours, and we wanted to show this special spot that we've got that they produced. And as we just cue it up real quick, through our lovely systems, this is for Equality Radio right here on Q Talk America.
Are you as excited and maybe even nervous as we are about the upcoming decisions that will be handed down by the Supreme Court of the United States later this month? Hello, everyone. I'm Randall White, host of Equality Radio here on Q Talk America, in anticipation of what will surely be a historic day. The staff here at Equality Radio is hard at work putting together expert guests, background information, and legal analysis for a solid day of live coverage. We are greatly expanding our show that day to fit the occasion. We want to be sure you have a forum to express your thoughts as history unfolds around us. There may be no other day more important in LGBT history than what's about to happen. Equality Radio on Q Talk America will be here for you on that day.
Thank you, Joe.
Absolutely. Back to you guys.
Okay. Cindy, do you want to play another song that's coming to you?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, this one was kind of out of. There were two series of songs. One actually was on the tail end of a breakup. So, if you can relate to me here,
Not
songs like "Breakdown," "Surrender," then came "State of Grace." Okay, this next one was on. I was on the mend. I was after State of Grace. You know, I'd already achieved this nice little place where I said, well, there's nothing I can do about this. I just have to accept it and move on. And I had this tremendous view in a bedroom that I was in, out of my bedroom window. And if anyone's ever been to Sedona, Arizona, the rocks there are amazing, beautiful red rocks. The sun is just breathtaking when it sets. The colors, you just can't even imagine, okay? So this one came from Sedona. It's a Sedona song. Painted sunsets across the desert sky, full moon rising, I see through different eyes. On your doorstep, I find myself again, full of wonder, a child within, yeah. Rays of sunshine across your sleeping face, sweet dreams and our love on your pillowcase. Endless mornings, I wake up next to you, reach out and touch you, and it all feels new, 'cause we go on and on and on through time, side by side, your hand in mine. We go on and on and on through time. Sweet dreams and our love are always on my mind. Shine on me, your beauty and your grace. Shine on me, I see the light on me until the night becomes the day. Shine on me, we can love our lives away. Painted sunsets across the desert sky, full moon rising, I see through different eyes. On your doorstep, I find myself again, full of wonder, a child within. But we go on and on and on through time, side by side, your hand in mine. But we go on and on and on through time. Sweet dreams and our love are always on my mind, 'cause we go on and on and on through time. We go on and on and on through time. We go on and on and on through time. Sweet dreams and our love are always on my mind. Sweet dreams and our love are always on my mind.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, it's been rather symbolic because, Leslie, why don't you elaborate on Sweet Dreams, what we've been talking about? That's been up for the last 5 days of dreaming again.
Oh yeah, just and that's obviously, Cindy. When you create, you have to dream a song into being, and Lisa and I've been spending a lot of time about, and myself personally, it's like starting to dream my dream
Yes.
in a
Yes.
more specific way.
Many years ago, I had a woman that, she was just an amazing astrologer, philosopher, spiritualist, and she said to me, she said, "Cindy, write your future." So, I took that to say, dream. Let yourself dream and then write it and then sing it, put it out there. And it's amazing the things that you can create just by doing that. I think that people forget how creative we really are and how much we are actually creating every moment of our lives
Every moment.
based
That's
on what we're thinking, what we're feeling, how we view something. People don't realize, how much we can just seriously draw things to us, good, bad, and ugly. I mean,
We forget how to dream.
you do. So dream really good things, pick the beauty that you see and expand on that a little bit, huh?
Exactly. Exactly. And the beauty of a dream is if you don't like what you're dreaming, you can change it because you created it anyway.
That's right.
It's that simple. So now, where are your dreams taking you? Do you have you want to, talk about any of the future songs that are pleading to be written?
Oh, well,
They're in the
no,
dream.
they're in the dream state. I can't, no, I won't talk about them yet.
Okay.
Those are those things, I keep them right here. I keep them close to me until they're ready. It's like an
that mystery
incubator.
project again.
It's that mystery project. That mystery project has really been bothering you, hasn't it?
No, it's always wonderful for an artist to create mystery, or anyone,
Yeah.
because it's curious.
It is. Everyone wants to know. They know you're up to something. They just don't know what.
That's exactly right. So, in light of that and curiosity, do you have a song that is in that vein of just inviting the curious?
Inviting the curious. Wow. Boy, you really put me on the
Well-
spot this time, my friend.
Well, that is the point.
Well,
I really
it's so
appreciate you for
healing
that.
for people just to listen to the words instead of reading it. Because some people are more clairaudient and they need to hear. They don't need to read. They don't need to see. It affects them on such a different level, which that is such a gift in itself.
All right. Well, you're going to have to, it's going to take me just a second here. So give me 2 seconds. I'm really good with my feet, and I have some lyrics laying on the floor.
Okay, well,
'cause I don't-
Leslie, you and I talk about this level of dream because so many of our listeners are stuck. They don't know how to get to that place of dreaming. What advice do you give them to help them access this sense of themselves, of being in a dream state or accessing the creative side of self?
Well, and that is, as we dream in our sleep, we can also have the same experience awake. And so when Lisa's talking about it, when I say dream my dream, I literally just find some quiet time. And it's not always about writing it down. That may come after. And going back to the vibration, I literally will feel my dream coming to me and around me. It becomes almost tangible, and yet it's a vibration. If our next dream is Aspen, and it's a dream we dream together. We're going to go to Aspen, and yet when I dream that, I can literally put myself in Aspen, my perception of Aspen, and just be in it. And guess what? I get to place what I want. I can say I want this kind of bed or this kind of furniture. I mean, it gets down to specifics. And then, I know you do the same thing, and we talk about this a lot. It's like, first, even in a relationship, she needs to have her personal dream. I need to have my personal dream. And then we talk a lot, since this is a relationship show, about our dream together.
Yeah.
So, Lisa, what do you have to say about the dream?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think intuitively for the listeners to really access what their gut is telling them, what they intuitively feel and know, and not to question what their dream is, because they may have dreamed to be a musician, but their mother would tell them as a child, oh my goodness, you've got the worst voice and stop singing, you're terrible, you're out of tune. So it shut their dream down. And it's intuitively knowing, no, you know what? Maybe their dream is to be singing in a choir, of allowing their voice to be heard. It's being a spokesperson. It just is really, really tapping into that deeper sense of their own essence of what they truly know on an intuitive level.
Let your imagination run wild and free.
Given that, the song that I've chosen to do for you guys is called Surrender, because the first thing you have to do is surrender to the dream.
Absolutely.
Surrender,
Yes.
surrender to that part of yourself that can dream. And surrenders come in many, many forms. I mean, most of us have a really negative, we were brought up to think of a negative connotation, like, okay, I give up, I give up. Well, in truth, what you're doing is surrendering to something much greater than yourself. You're giving up the ego. So in essence, you are giving up, but you're giving up the ego. The
Right.
part of you that thought you knew how good you knew everything. You were all about that.
The
You knew
stumbling
The
block.
stumbling block. That is
The
the stumbling
hurdles that
block.
we
The
have to go
hurdles.
through.
So this one's called Surrender, and it was one in the series, and it's one that it's one of the ones that will be recorded. Everything you heard tonight will be recorded and available for you sometime over the next couple of months. That's my goal. I have a little studio set up in my home, so we'll see what happens. Okay. Surrender is calling out your name. Surrender, things will never be the same. Oh, remember, there are things you cannot change. Oh, surrender is feeling kind of strange. Just one glance from you and everything comes into view. Just one moment with you, everything feels brand new. Oh, surrender is calling after you. Oh, surrender, there's nothing you can do. Oh, remember, there are things you cannot say. Oh, surrender is asking you to stay. Oh, surrender is coming after you. Oh, surrender, there's nothing you can do. Oh, are things you cannot say. Oh, surrender is asking you to stay. Nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say. It's asking you to stay.
Surrender.
Surrender.
And with this big, big moon, it's a great time to surrender, release, and let go. The relationships that aren't working, the old patterning that's not working, the job that you don't like is such a pivotal point right now. And these changing times, that was a profound song to be played right now of surrendering.
Absolutely. And so it's a great time. Just clear it out, clean it out. You know, whatever it is, whatever you've been holding on to, that isn't, I call it in vibration with the new you, because I don't know if anyone else realizes this or has experienced this over this past few months, this past 6 months or so. It's been a great time to clear out. It's like we've been given an opportunity to come forward with a clean slate, to completely clear and clean ourselves out of all those old patterns that aren't working. In our personal lives, in our professional lives, I don't care, in our creative lives, whatever it is, clear it out, clean it out. It's a great opportunity, and don't be afraid, you know? So many
And
times.
that's the bottom line. People go into fear. They feel that people don't understand them, especially these teenagers, these gay kids that know they're gay and they just can't come to that place of surrendering truly who they are and feeling a safe haven to go to their parent or their minister because they're going to be judged. So it's a tough time right now for a lot of people.
You know, and my best advice is don't judge yourself. Accept yourself first and foremost, because when you can accept and love yourself for who you are and who you aren't, everyone else can too. You know, learn how to give yourself that unconditional space within. Creativity comes from there as well, because you need to have that. You can't sit there and judge yourself and expect to be able to put out a great work of art or even a complete work of art.
Yeah, beautifully said. Yeah. Well, the show can be downloaded on iTunes at Gay Love or at Q Talk America. And Cindy, where can our listeners reach you?
You can reach me at www.cindydickinson.com. You can also pick up the song Best in Me, the one you heard a little while ago. You can pick that up on Amazon. You can pick that up on iTunes. You can pick that up on my website. Don't forget to visit me over at Facebook. It's actually facebook.com Shine On and On Music.
Right.
It's just come and visit me, you know.
And I can be reached at Lisa at Pure Spirit Healing or 928-274-4416.
And I can be reached at 336-402-1039 or absolutetrust7@gmail.com.
And we want to hear from our listeners. Looking forward to chatting next week.